People have known for months that The Marvels was likely to be yet another box office disappointment for Disney, but I'm not sure anyone could have predicted it would be this bad, despite some in the access media still desperately trying to convince people that The Marvels is an absolute triumph. It looks like the audience doesn't feel that way. And now we're starting to see reality hit Marvel Studios straight in the face. This is from Deadline. The Marvels headed for lowest opening ever for Disney MCU at 47 to 55 million. Look at the Hollywood Reporter just a few minutes ago. Box office bomb. The Marvels going to open to 47 to 52 million in new low for Marvel Studios. And yes, it's already setting records. Officially, The Marvels is setting records for the MCU, but it's not the kind they want to be setting. With the numbers that just officially came in today, we can now say, without a shadow of a doubt, that The Marvels is a record setter because it has the record for lowest opening in the history of the MCU. A record no MCU film would like to hold. The Marvels grossed disastrous 21.3 million Friday opening day at US box office, including 6.6 million in previews. Lowest opening day in MCU history, under The Incredible Hulk's 21.5 million and Ant-Man's 22 million. Almost 3 times lower than Captain Marvel's from 2019 and even lower than The Flash's disastrous 24.5. And if you thought that's the only record that's being set by The Marvels, well, we've got another one. The Marvels receives worst audience score in MCU history. No, this is not talking about some Rotten Tomatoes score or something like that. This is talking about the cinema score. The cinema score is tied with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for the lowest in the history of the MCU. This is a number that typically tells you how good word of mouth is and how well they predict this thing will hold in its second, third, fourth weekend. So not only is the Marvels tracking to have the worst opening we've ever seen, but it also looks like it's set the stage for a massive box office drop-off in its second weekend. To put these type of numbers into perspective, let's go back to the breakdown for this Friday opening day. $21.3 million Friday opening at the box office. Let's put this in perspective. What we're comparing it to, the lowest in MCU history, is The Incredible Hulk, which came out in 2008. 2008, Incredible Hulk, when they didn't have Thursday previews, by the way. They started at midnight back then. So it was just opening day, $21.5 million. The Marvels is just shy of that. To make it even more embarrassing, back then, in 2008, what was the average ticket price at the box office? Well, we can check it right here. $7.18. $7.18, the average ticket price. What's the average ticket price today? Well, we don't have the data for the Marvels specifically, but I can go back to the opening weekends for Ant-Man and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and we can see that for Ant-Man 3, which released earlier this year, average ticket price opening weekend was $13.98, almost $14. So basically, even if the Marvels was able to get a $55 million opening with Incredible Hulk, that number would still be, attendance-wise, about half. That's what we're talking about right now. When we've been saying for years that Marvel is losing their audience, that people are walking away, and you saw the mainstream, you saw the access media, you saw them try to cover for it time after time. This is what we're talking about. They do not have butts in seats. The fans have left the MCU, regardless of how high ticket prices get jacked up. Like, you cannot hide from this failure anymore. And when you see places like the Hollywood Reporter now, just calling it as it is, you can't get away from it. Box office bomb. Like, all the walls are now crashing in on Kevin Feige in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We've heard all the reports about the chaos going on at Marvel, that they know things need to change. I don't know if anyone has any hope that they actually can at this point, but officially, the Marvels now holds the record for the lowest opening day in history, on its way to potentially setting the record for the lowest opening weekend we've ever seen. Either way, even if it does creep up to like 55 million, it will still be the lowest attended one. You can just look at those numbers. You can just look at those ticket prices and we can show that. This is an embarrassing failure on each and every level. But I guess it's setting records. That's what you wanted, right? You wanted to set records for the MCU. You're doing that. When you look at audience reaction, when you look at the box office, it's just not the records you want to hold. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.